What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 35 of my Total Warhammer 3 modded Karl Franz campaign. So as we saw last time, we continued our use of guns and gunnery with the Balthazar Gelt destroying yet another army here belonging to the Orcs and Wurzag, and getting a very nice defeat trait as well. Great Green Killer and physical resistance 10%, and the charge bonus could help Gelty as well, especially if we build him a unit of Pegasus Knights to act as his personal retinue. On top of that, Karl destroyed Azag at Great Skull Lakes and will now continue moving northward towards Uzkalak, although possibly with a little stop by at Saber Mountain and Falls of Doom before we complete going up north and start dealing with the Norskins and whatnot up there. I don't know whether we can reach the Tower of Torment in time to save the Urson Revivalists, especially as it doesn't look like they have much in the way of defenses there, and the faction might already be broken, but oh well. They were never going to survive without a certain man named Uragni, and by man I mean man-god, like Sigmar. But anyway, I digress. The first thing that we have to do... Oh, in fact, I kind of had an idea between the episodes. What if, and hear me out, I don't know if this is a terrible idea, what if we try to attack Transform? Now, he would draw out the garrison of Skavenbattle, which is pretty insane. It's basically as elite a stack as is gonna be possible for the Skaven. However, with the exception of the Warp Lightning cannons, this stack very much lacks range firepower, or at the very least long-range firepower. Really, most of the long-range firepower is in the Poison Wind Mortars, and I guess to some degree the Gutter Runners that are in Transform's army. If we were to take that out, and if we got a decent map as well, as in one without a lot of problematic terrain, we might be able to kite this army to death. I'm not 100% on it. It seems very, very iffy. Even against going against one army with this army seems kind of iffy, but, you know, this army has pulled off some pretty crazy wins in the past, and I feel like we gotta give it a try. Well, you know what? If we do, we gotta give them all the advantages that we can, which means... Imperial Adjutants, let's get them a patrol captain with great swords. 7,000 prestige. Man, these things got really expensive. And really quite fast as well. Yeah, but they're gonna be needed. Karl doesn't have one of those, so basically we're gonna give it to him temporarily, to Peter, and then later on we're just gonna trade it to Karl. What can we do here? I guess the standard of discipline. Really kind of unfortunate to lose it, but I don't see much of a choice in the matter. Alrighty, then. This all needs to be changed. Let's give him some buffs, shall we? Oh. Wait, that made me realize something. War Banner. We could give him a War Banner, or we could give it to our Witch Hunter. Both of which would be nice, but what could we possibly get rid of here? I guess we could actually do that after the patrol captain with great swords is gone. We could try to take away the scribe, but that 5% may be necessary. Oh no, he actually can reach Transform. Can we reach Transform in Trench's stance? Yeah, it looks like we can. I think either way we wouldn't be able to reach Skavenblight this turn. Yeah, we can't even reach it, so... maybe. Alright, let's take out the scribe, and I hope this doesn't screw us over. And let's put the War Banner in here. Now, are you still able to reach Transform? It looks like you are... Huh. It's still 14%, it didn't change. Okay, weird. It might change next turn. Yeah, that's probably how it happens. The point increase happened at the start of the turn, I assume. And you know what you do when you assume, don't you? Well, either way, we are going to have to give that unit back to you, let's say. What was that, a scribe or something? Scribe. You do provide campaign movement range, though, so probably we should put you into another army. And I'm gonna do that just before I forget. Gelty, or not gonna do it. Aldebras, let's have you hold it for now, but we'll probably swap that out later on. I just want to put it somewhere so I don't forget. Alright, next up, Marcus. Not Wolfheart, but let's hope he takes after him. Initiate, Light College Acolyte. Is there anything here that would help in this fight? I somehow doubt it. You know what? Just in case you die, get a camp follower. Although I suppose if you die on the field, that won't really help. It's only if you're wounded. So, yeah, no. Then, I guess we should probably do both of their items at the same time. Now, you have Goblin Bane. Well, what can we do in terms of your armor and your talisman and whatnot? Well, we're obviously not going to give you any of the really good talismans in case I screw up and we all die. Shield of Talos. Fencer's Blades are good, but not at the cost of Goblin Bane. I would actually love to give these guys Helm of Discord in case they get into a melee fight. Ooh, and we have a Brass Cleaver as well. Well, that's an interesting decision. We also do have a Tormentor Sword down here, which is the 30 seconds of can't move, but I'm disinclined to give up Goblin Bane. Whenever we get into melee, this is going to be quite useful. Well, either way, Dragonbane Gem, can you be switched to anything remotely useful? We have a Seed of Rebirth on Aldebras. A little bit of healing for this guy in case. Maybe. Let's do Seed of Rebirth, I guess. You don't say anything else that would be all that useful. I mean, we could just give Aldebras's items to him in general. There's a luck stone here. Didn't we have another sort of stone of some sort? Actually, you know what? Let's fuse these potions of strength. Maybe we'll get something better. Another Helm of Discord. Ha! Well, I wanted one and we got one. Helm of Discord for you, my friend. Alright. I wasn't expecting that, but I'm happy about it. Let's see. Also, this gives us 10 armor, eh? Maybe it would be better to put the Helm of Discord on the other guy. Who has the Glittering Scales? Aldebras Meyer, eh? Now, you know what? You have 45 melee defense. What do you have in terms of melee defense? You have 55 melee defense. Alright, you know what? You're gonna get the Helm of Discord then. And then we'll give the Glittering Scales, who are currently on Aldebras. No, it's only plus 4 armor. Honestly, it probably doesn't make that much of a difference. Let's give this to you. And then we will give you the Brass Cleaver. Like so. More buffs for everybody. Another talisman that we probably won't get too much use out of. Seed of Rebirth. Now let's take the Seed of Rebirth from Aldebras as well. We may do, like, Aldebras's army is just the remnants of the other armies. It just needs to transfer stuff. It's not a real army, which is why I have no problem taking his stuff, at least at the current time, if anybody's wondering why I'm so willing to screw Aldebras over. Anyway, Talisman of Protection on Kurt. Now, he's probably going to need that. You are Gregor Rodziner. You know what? Gregor doesn't need this, at least not right now. And then lastly, we have a Terrifying Mask of E. Can we replace that with anything useful? Gregor also has a Potion of Toughness. Honestly, Gregor isn't fighting right now, and he'll probably only fight if we have to defend here. Let's take the Potion of Toughness as well.
Equipment check.
And then we'll put the Terrifying Mask of E on Marcus here. And in fact, this is what we'll do. We will go... There's a Potion of Toughness. Gregor, we'll take this on you, and then we'll swap it out with the Terrifying Mask of E like so. On Peter. There we go. Peter's gonna need the potion more than the other guy. And I don't think there's anything else. We could steal the Van Horseman's Speculum, but I kind of don't want to redo all the items everywhere, even if it is another buff. Alrighty, and I believe that's all we can do, or at least that's about it. We have the extra great swords, we have the buffs. Let's hope it's enough, because we're gonna do this. This is a terrible idea, isn't it? You know what? Wait. Maybe we try to trade for Tobaro now. I'm worried that if we actually manage to damage Clan Scryer heavily, what'll happen is that these guys will not want a military alliance nearly as much because Clan Scryer will be weaker. This is going to cost us 4.4k. And just do it.
Very good.
Alright, do it like so. And there we go. Then... just want to double check whether we have any quests. We do not. Alright. We're gonna have to work with what we currently got. Pretty insane to pay that much for Tobaro, but it is what it is. Here we go. This is a terrible idea. Oh, why do I do this to myself? There's absolutely no need to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. Look at this frickin', look at these stacks. It's ridiculous. Compared to this army with our tier 1 free company. Okay, well, either way. We're gonna put the war banner on, I think on the Witch Hunter, because he's more of a strong fighter. Both in melee and in range, by the looks of it. He just seems plain stronger. Alright. At the very least, both of them can do damage. Now, what do we have to contend with here? So, basically, a half stack full of storm vermin between the two armies. Actually, more than that. Sensor bearers, death runners are going to be an issue. They've got 62 speed on them. And they can definitely hunt us down. We got a Doom Wheel, that'll be a problem. The Doom Flayers will, of course, be a problem. Really, a lot of this is going to be a problem. Why do I do this? I'm dumb. Here we go. Alright, I hope it's okay, because I am very much nervous about this particular battle. We will see just how it goes. Gotta keep in mind that even if we do poorly, we can always run and gun all the way back to the start of, or off of the map and retreat, essentially. We don't have to fight to the death here. I gotta keep that in mind. Alrighty, well, here we go. We've Vanguard deployed with all of our huntsmen, as well as our Lord and Witch Hunter and the Pistoliers, and the goal here is to damage or otherwise destroy the Poison Wind Mortars before they can do really any damage. They're really the biggest threat on the field, and that I think even counts the units on the other side as well, as in from the second army, so it's pretty critical that we knock these guys out. They are fairly light armored, and they are going to take quite a lot of damage if we can get some good hits on them, which looks like is happening to an okay degree. I was hoping for a few more hits, but it's okay. Alright, come on, keep firing on them, Huntsman. Please knock them out before they can get too many shots out. Looks like a couple of those mortar kits are coming our way, and they are going to drop into our summoned handgunners, though at the very least, summoned units. We've also Vanguard deployed the second set of Pistoliers, who moved around the enemy Storm Vermin and are going to melee charge the second set of Poison Wind Mortars, hopefully before they get ripped apart by the Storm Vermin here. While I'm not quite willing to sacrifice them for this, I am willing to certainly take at least some damage on these Pistoliers to get these mortars off the field. Yeah, Storm Vermin are moving around us in kind of a bizarre formation, but it's okay. We are doing quick damage to those Poison Winds, and the second unit of Poison Winds is out of the picture as well, and we're going to try to chase it down to make sure that it cannot come back. Otherwise, our Halberdiers and our Greatswords are now getting charged by the enemy melee, but they are summoned units and certainly sacrificable, so we don't particularly care about them. Better they just die here or hold ground as long as they can here. They've also left a nice gap in the middle of their formations for us to continue firing, which is quite nice, as it will enable the Free Company militia to do work and not just the Huntsmen. Speaking of the Huntsmen, they have now switched their targets to the Warp Grinders and the various units of Gutter Runners with poison, as those units can still be quite threatening to us, and the melee units are being held back. It looks like we did manage to destroy most of the Poison Wind Mortars. One of them did come back. We're going to retarget it with our Huntsmen, and we should be able to get it off the field. Not a lot of damage so far, and by and large mostly to the handgunners, so now this is going reasonably well. But this is really just the beginning. They've still got a very elite stack coming in, and we still have to take care of what's left. There's still a fair few Storm Vermin to take care of, and some enemy range units firing back at us. We do have to be careful about those slingers. They really shouldn't be underestimated. Also, looks like the Storm Vermin are starting to work through our summoned units of Halberdiers and Greatswords, which will be out of the picture soon, or at the very least the Greatswords are. which will mean these guys will move forward, and we're going to have to send our free companies forward as well. The enemy's also going to add to their numbers by continuously summoning clan rats, so it's probably a good thing that they're summoning them behind the line rather than in the middle of our hunters. Poor decision on the AI's part. But it is the AI, so you can hardly expect optimal use of all those abilities. Anyway, let's check back on how we're doing here. Still plenty of melee units to go, though it looks like the enemy Master Assassin has been by and large seen off by the war wagons, which have been focusing it down. On the less fortunate side, the second army has arrived, and it's all elites. It's nothing but elites, so we will really have to be careful. We've also managed to basically chase down those poison wind mortars. They're dead, and now we'll have to hopefully destroy this chieftain with the pistoliers, because of course the chieftain cannot catch him. Alright, keep working on it, though it looks like the great swords are just about done. We're going to pop a rally to allow them to stay in the fray just a few seconds longer, and we're even going to pop the Helm of Discord to prevent them from doing as much damage, and by them I of course mean the enemy line. There's an arrow of Akshi coming in. And here comes a Doomwheel. Wow, that guy went flying. This guy in particular. And the Doomwheel moves right through our lines and then into the Hunters, and actually past the Hunter, or Huntsman rather, and into the next unit of Huntsmen. Alrighty, so we need to retarget everybody and destroy this Doomwheel as fast as possible. It is already close to half HP, so we're going to have all the Huntsmen and all the War Wagons and our Lord and Hero targeted as well. Can't be letting this thing run around in our back lines here. Alright, come on, bring it down. You're all anti-large huntsmen. There we go. The ground shook longer than the Doomwheel was destroyed. But anyway, the enemies also moved in some Death Runners, which made very quick work of the Halberdiers, such that remained, and we did have to move our Lord and the Witch Hunter and our free companies in to now block the remaining enemy units. This is still a blob from the first enemy army. The second army isn't here yet, so the enemy is starting to do damage. Our free company militias are starting to get hurt, and we may have to start backing away before the second army gets here, as it will get worrisome. It does look like we did basically manage to chase up or otherwise kill that chieftain though, so that's nice. And a unit of Eshin Triads that has been chasing around one of our pistoliers has also been pretty much destroyed. We do need to try to take care of the faster moving units as best we can, though. These Death Runners are going to be a thorn in our side because of their very high speed for as long as we allow them to live. And here comes a Hell Pit Abomination, though all of our huntsmen with their anti-large and the war wagons will be targeting this thing as the main priority target. Alright, come on, get a few more shots. I really doubt that our free company will be able to hold much longer. Though the Helm of Discord in combination with the debuffs from our Rune Fang really does help as well. There we go, Hell Pit Abomination brought down. I'm gonna get a few more blasts, and it looks like those Death Runners are still fighting and are getting support from enemy Storm Vermin, and here come more troops. Death Globes and Poison Winds also all in range now, and it looks like we're booking it. Time to run. A run and gun, of course, so we will still be able to do decent amounts of damage to this blob of enemies, but yeah, we are absolutely getting overwhelmed here. I gotta watch out for those Death Globes and Poison Winds. They will rip our army apart like nothing. Gotta get out of their range, and then hopefully, if the enemy melee keep following us, maybe we can have our range units, or our pistoliers rather, and destroy the enemy poison winds and such. That would be nice. Alrighty, we're gonna stop the war wagons as they are fast enough to move back and then fire, and then go back again. More shots coming in from those Death Globes, which means we keep on running. Damn the Skaven for being fast enough to actually catch our troops. And our Lord is also right in the back of the enemy line. He is pretty okay, though. It looks like the enemy's having a difficult time catching him, though. He's running right in the middle of this formation. We're going to need to support him. Alrighty, and the war wagons just keep on firing, certainly showing their value here. But damn, that's a lot of rats. And we're gonna target the enemy lords and heroes now. Looks like the assassins will take care of a chieftain. And down he goes, and then we'll be targeting the enemy warlord as best we can with the war wagons. They may not get a lot of kills on the regular units, but you know, I've been very impressed with their sniping capabilities throughout this campaign so far. Oh, look at that blob of units. This is a pretty big problem. Keep on running, everybody. We are still doing damage as we run, though, and we will keep running until we have the Helm of Discord and the Rune Fang's effect back up and running. Basically, we run until then we stop and turn and fight with our Free Company Militia and our Lord and Witch Hunter debuffing the enemy, while the Helm of Discord and the Rune Fang debuff is up, and then as soon as they pop, we start running again. Alright. Looking pretty good. We did manage to put some distance between us and the main enemy host, and it looks like we're getting a pretty okay amount of range damage in. I'm gonna pop our ammunition recovery as well. And there we go. That'll probably help our balance of power, as somebody pointed out in the comments of a previous episode. And back we go once again, though of course the Free Company Militia will keep firing. This must be infuriating, but still, there's still way too many enemies left on the field, and obviously the bounce power is still very much in their favor, though not as badly as it was before. We did manage to catch out a unit of Death Globes with our unit of Pistoliers back here, and another unit of Pistoliers is leading around a unit of Clan Rats, and before was, I believe, leading around a unit of Storm Vermin, and then our other unit of Pistoliers managed to catch the other unit of Death Globes. Two Poison Wind Globadiers still remain, but hopefully we can either get those or snipe them. Looks like our Witch Hunter nearly got caught, but we're just still trying to run and gun. We've basically been running away for 8 minutes straight. Well, I mean, I guess we did hold ground for a little while there, but yeah, fairly long a run and gun for now. But it isn't doing too bad. We are taking damage, and quite a bit of it, I might add, but not too bad. Unfortunately, we're nearing the end of the line here. Almost nowhere left to run. Looks like the enemy did manage to catch and force engage our black lines here and get a nice volley from their poison winds on them. And though the enemy numbers are now dwindling and the balance of power continues to creep in our favor, gotta get at least one more good volley from all of our huntsmen and maybe try to kill that Eshin Sorcerer. Obviously, we're going to target Sedesh and Sorcerer with our war wagons. They should be able to snipe them apart if the other enemies don't get in the way. Don't let them cast anymore. There we go. Nice job to the war wagons. Back away once again with the Free Company Militia, and this is where either we make our stand or we get off the map. Right now we're going to stand. We still got a decent amount of units firing and still got a decent amount of ammunition, especially with the ammunition recovery. Our debuffs should also be up if they're not up shortly, and our huntsmen are now sniping those Poison Wind Globadiers before they get in range again. We can hold the melee with the debuffs, but if those Poison Winds are allowed free reign, they will destroy our army. Looks like this Death Globe is out of the picture. The other Death Globe, I don't know where they went, but I'm sure we'll catch them. Let's just say the Pistoliers are still running around in the background and doing a great job. Alright, Free Company, or such Free Company that remains, it's up to you now. We're going to bolster the line by keeping the war wagons in the main line as well, and just because they add a decent amount of HP to this. Granted, not as much HP as a unit of war sleds might add, but still pretty okay. Alrighty, and now it's time to get those debuffs back up and running. Helm of Discord is up on the enemy, -20, -20. That should increase the staying power of our Free Company and our Huntsmen, who are now going to have to fight in melee a little bit, but these are the White Wolves and they're at 55-34, so they're pretty good in melee regardless. Alrighty, on the bright side though, the enemy range units have by and large been destroyed, and it is now the melee that we have to contend with, though the balance of power is now about even. Roughly half our army has gone off the field, as in been routed off it. Several units of the Free Company very heavily damaged. Obviously those elite war wagons, the Regiment of Renown rather, of war wagons were forced off the field as well. Our Pistoliers are also damaged in the background, but are still running around trying to do their best. And the battle will be decided here by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units of Storm Vermin. Damn, it's still way too many Storm Vermin, although at least a couple of them are at half HP. But we still have debuffs, and in fact we're moving our Lord in to pop the Hawkland Runefang. There we go. Melee defense minus 25 and armor minus 75. Very significant debuff on the Storm Vermin. Should allow the Huntsman at the very least to dish out significant amounts of damage to them. And the Free Company Militia, the ones that are still fighting, mind you, to do the same, and same thing, and goes for the White Wolves. Well, it looks like that was actually enough, and the enemy Storm Vermin, and though a decent amount remained, will be booking it, and the enemy army will shatter. Ooh. Alright, that was close, but the battle isn't over in the sense that we still got a lot of chasing to do here. I'm gonna try to run them down with the war wagons, kill everything we can. Unfortunately, since about half our army was routed off the field, we can't do too much in terms of chasing, or at least not nearly as much as we'd like, but we're still gonna do the best that we can. We still do have all of our Pistoliers on the field, so they should at least be able to kill the Death Globes, Poison Winds, and I guess this enemy Lord, and then any Storm Vermin they can catch, they will probably have some difficulty chasing down, but I'm sure they'll try their best. Man, how long was that battle? 11 minutes, or 11, maybe 12 minutes? Yeah, something along those lines. Well, I guess 11 minutes of the battle, and then the last little while we've been chasing stuff around. I'm going to speed up the rest of this because we don't need to see it, but yeah, 11 minutes of a fighting retreat. Pretty glorious fight, though, I gotta say. If nothing else, I don't know about its effectiveness, but damn is this army fun to play. Very micro-intensive, though. Though, funnily enough, not in this particular battle, because we mainly stayed somewhat blobbed up, and it was mostly just using three separate command groups. And then backing them off, and, well, I guess 4 separate command groups if you count the Pistoliers, but they were off doing their own thing. And then just backing off each command group one by one, i.e. the Pistoliers hold ground, the Huntsmen back off, and then the Pistoliers start moving, and then the Huntsmen fire, etc, etc, etc. Obviously a Pyrrhic victory as we did take damage, but I'm not sure we actually lost any units, just a lot of heavy damage, forcing them to rout. Let's see what the damage dealt was, and let's see how many of the enemies survived here, though I do expect it's quite a bit, as quite a few were able to get off the map, as we just didn't have the critical mass of units, or critical number of units needed to chase everything down, as usual. Oh man, oh man. So verdict, guys. Was it a terrible idea or was it not a terrible idea? I'm genuinely not sure. Our army is so hurt that there's no way that they can attack Skavenblight now, and we'll have to try to recover. On the other hand, we got a lot of XP, a lot of money, a decent amount of prestige back for the prestige that we wasted going after this, and honestly, it was such a fun battle. Damn, that was close, though. Ooh. Alrighty, just out of curiosity, we got 19k damage on Peter, we got 14k on the Witch Hunter, very respectable, 32k on the White Wolves there, and 7k on Sterling's Revenge, but they routed pretty early, as they were the forward-most unit, and between 20 and 30k on all the various Huntsmen, 18, 22, and 12, very wide range of damage on the various Free Company. Didn't get a lot of value out of the Black Lions, unfortunately, mostly because we had to keep backing off and they just couldn't find a good firing position, but the War Wagons did pretty fantastic, 28 and 38k, and obviously the Pistoliers did well as well, though they did spend a lot of time just running around chasing things. We're going to pardon the captives, yes, pardon the rats, that is absolutely what we're going to do. And then, I take it we can't leave this area? Oh, let's see. Just out of curiosity. Ally mission successful is aplenty, and ooh, we can go into March stance and get back into Tobara. Well, that'll allow us to heal. Alright. We certainly can't attack Skavenblight like this, but damn what a fun fight. Alrighty, 1 second, I'm just gonna make a quick cut. I got to let my cat in here. He was screaming for the entire battle, and I couldn't stop. 1 second. Alright, sorry about that, but the cat has to be fed or there will be incessant meowing. Anyway, Peter's gonna just sit here for now. We'll see what Skaven Blight is like next turn, but I think that because he lacks a warrior priest and his regeneration is fairly slow, his army's not gonna be able to do anything about this really, and I do imagine the garrison's gonna start recovering fairly quickly as well. We may have to wait for one of the other armies to move down here and attack together, but that's just fine as we do have a lot of armies in the vicinity. Now, in terms of what we gotta do, funnily enough, we got the money back from the battle that we paid for Tobaro, so that certainly works. Alright. Now, first of all, Altdorf. And before I forget, I was going to turn off the Council of Burgomeisters, but maybe we keep it for a turn, and we can take off the landed estates as we no longer need the growth here. And the casualty replenishment rate is also not that helpful, and then we can replace those with something. We could pop paved roads everywhere, but the problem is Altdorf isn't really in a great position to give lots of territories the adjacent income. There's also the Common Temple. If we were to build 3 of these, it's 1 per settlement, right? It's not, yeah, it's 1 per settlement, not 1 per province. This would give us another 30% income in this particular territory, and it is the most money-making territory. Lastly, we could do 3 armories instead to significantly reduce the recruitment. I think with the recruiter, it might actually be free to recruit things with the 3 armories all in one place. Though, do we actually need that is the real question. It's not like it's all that expensive to recruit right now anyway. I guess the Reiksguard are. But you know, saving the occasional recruitment monies might actually be worth less than getting another 30% income at Reikland. I guess let me know what you think about that. I'm inclined to go for the economy rather than the military thing. If things cost a lot more to recruit, then maybe it might be worth it. And yeah, I'm sure that steam tanks would be very expensive, but right now the most expensive thing is the Knights Panther. Reiksguard are pretty cheap. And basically all the infantry are extremely cheap anyway. Even greatswords are only 600 money. So yeah, we could reduce that, but honestly it probably won't save us all that much in the long run. Well, anyway, let's see what we have to do now. So Gregor, you can continue staying where you are. We have Kurt, who is also kind of staying where he is. He's kind of just gonna have to move together with Gavin here. What we could do, though, potentially, is land him here in allied territory, and then sail out again next turn with Gavin. So you go there, and that'll allow you to heal a little bit and even gain some mana via channeling. And there we go, nice to have an ally out here. It's not like anybody can attack us. Also, if we were to take these guys out, we could start dealing with Nikari and helping out on Ulthuan. Elves. They just can't keep their, they just can't keep the donut in order. Anyway, Luther, do you need to recruit anything else? I guess we could get even more free company militia. Nah, why not? Get more free wait, what? Why is it local recruitment? Oh, right. Volkmar's recruiting one thing here. That confused me for a sec there. Kurt Helborg, the Reichsmarshal. You are still going to need to get these guys. We will probably want to get Reiksguard, but let's see about upgrading stuff first, if we still have money remaining. Tech Thief, you need to try again. You failed last time. And you failed again. Oh, come on. We really need the extra research, man. That really hurts. Oh well. Tempting to get another wizard to steal more tech, but we just don't have the capacity to make use of them in that manner at the current time. Alrighty, I believe that's it. Let's do building. So Reikland, we've decided what to do with and are keeping the Council of Burgomeisters. Talabekland is good, at least for now, though in 2 turns we gotta remember that it's going up to the next level. Wasteland is... ooh, hello. You can upgrade one of these toll gates here. Alright, let's for 1 turn send Recruiter out there then. like so, and then we'll reduce the cost slightly for that, which will help Altdorf out as well. Really, every province around Altdorf really needs or Reikland rather, really needs as many toll roads as possible, which makes me think that we should probably put another in Talabekland. Honestly, we're probably not getting a lot of value out of the armory here. Yes, we have military structures here, but they're not really ever in use, or at least they aren't right now, so we could probably delete that and replace it. And we'll probably want to put the tavern in the main territory, maybe? We'll see. I'm gonna retool some of these territories. Castle Drakenhof, I think, is fine for now. Northern Sylvania, fine. Yes, we need to upgrade these, but it's not critical. And Carrick Dromar, you're probably okay as well. I don't want to pay for these upgrades at this time. Same goes for Castle Baston. Northern Grey Mountains is okay. Northern World's Edge Mountains, yes, let's upgrade Carrick Raziak. I think we were going to do that before and then possibly didn't have enough money. Another upgrade will soon get that gold smelter to a higher degree, which will be nice. And Griffinwood, back to you. I'm tempted to build the walls here just in case Bellicor arrives through the portal, but the defensive stack here it's pretty okay. Plus we have the Pistoliers patrol that will be added to this. Although it probably wouldn't defeat a full stack, but no, I mean, we'll probably upgrade this in a little bit, but probably not right now. I'm willing to take the risk right now. Vaults, we're okay with you. And Estalia, yes, let's immediately upgrade Tobaro. Let's also immediately get these walls up and running because it'll be difficult to defend. The Imperial Harbor, and then I guess the iron. I'd like the growth, but this may allow us to trade a little bit more. Forest of Gloom, oh look, you're up to tier 3 now. You're probably going to be a good place to build the Wizard Conclave, but I guess we'll do that later. We'll probably want to build a tap room here. Mostly because the public order here is going to be iffy no matter what. Nah, let's upgrade that for now. We can't collect the income anyway. So it's either tap room, or we could do something like the Shrine of Sigmar for additional warrior priest capacity. Just go for all capacity stuff here. That's another decent option. And you know what, let's wait on it. I don't want to spend the money. Jisoro Gap, yada yada yada, you're all fine. Jungles of the Green Mist. No, we'll ignore you. Carrick Norn, we will not, however, ignore you at this time. Well, let's upgrade the industry, okay, well, we will ignore the farm here, but we're going to max out this province eventually. Silver Pinnacle, you can collect money, but I don't really care about the 200 money. Al Kalabad. Yes, let's upgrade you. We should also really get this up to the next tier. Maybe I should have prioritized that. But the garrison here is pretty okay. I mean, yeah, it's mostly garbage little state troops, but meh. There's nothing really in the vicinity that's all that threatening to it, so I think we're okay. Alrighty, now, this might happen, potentially. What else do we have here? Roderick and, yes, we're under siege at Specter Zuma again. By Uniweni, eh?
I will marshal the band.
That's fine, we'll deal with it. Just in case, though, let's upgrade you, my friend. Let us go for... Hold the line or another point in Emperor's Finest. It's probably still better to get the point in Emperor's Finest. 2 and 2 versus 5 melee defense, yeah. This is at least map-wide, whereas the others are not. Alright, the list looks good to me. We've moved everybody. We might get attacked by one of these sieging forces, but I believe I'm more interested in what Belagar does. So, let's skip the rest of this, and let's end the turn. Alrighty, Legion of Chaos. Why does the map always show us the Legion of Chaos? The game really likes doing that sometimes. And just like randomly go up to a faction and show us whatever they do. Oh wow, Tyrion wants a military alliance? I probably should have checked diplomacy. Yeah, that's fine, buddy. Give us more money. And we can do a military alliance. Count Noctilus is up here, which is kind of annoying. And hello, it looks like Uniweni will indeed attack us here. Well, that should be just fine. Let's do this one cinematically. I think that we will be fine. I mean, we did take on Mazda Mundi, though there are certainly annoyances here, potentially. Here we go. Alrighty, here we go. Weapons raised, General. Here we go, and it's the towers whose weapons probably are going to matter much more. And once again, at Specter Zuma we fight, though without Mazda Mundi, the enemy probably doesn't have much of a prayer. We shall see. One of the annoying aspects of this particular battle is we're facing off against a lot of chameleon skinks and stalkers, and they do like to move around while in stock. In fact, none of these units were visible, only the tower, I believe, when I was playing this, so they were able to reach the walls relatively unharmed right up until the wall, basically. On the bright side, though, this does allow us to destroy these towers, and the enemy did spread them out quite a bit. There's one on that side, there's two here, and there's one here, which probably means that only, well, maybe one here will survive. If the enemy had deployed them all in the same location, we would have only been able to bring down one, maybe two, if we were lucky. But oh well, maybe the strategy will nonetheless pan out, because they will be climbing the wall by the looks of it in a lot of locations on the settlement. What ladders are coming up everywhere, and we are very, very spread out, like we were in the Mazda Mundi battle, because we want pretty much every tower activated and firing. And that said, it's working fairly well so far. We brought down 3 towers, and thus very heavily damaged the 3 units of Saurus infantry that were in there. Now, the climbers will also have a decently hard fight ahead of them, mostly because we have a decent amount of infantry, especially with the addition of these 4 pikes. They may not be very strong, but they're strong enough to take skinks and stuff, especially when they've lost their vigor from climbing. Alright, let's go along the entire wall and see what we're looking at. Okay, maybe if the camera doesn't jump up. There's some chameleon stalkers moving in, but they're facing off against great swords, so I just don't see that working out so well. We're also going to move our pistoliers and our knights outside of the city to try to hit the enemy in the back. And looks like our crossbows are a little bit in trouble fighting the skink cohort. And granted, the skink cohort is relatively weak, but they're stronger in melee than the unit of crossbowmen is, so we'll need to move some more melee units to try to help these guys out shortly.
Weapons out, lads!
Alright, checking the rest of the wall out
Raise your weapons!
for additional perimeter breaches. And there we go. This enemy tower did manage to make it on top of the wall and disgorge the Saurus there, though their blobbage is going to mean that we shall use our mortars to reasonably decent effect. Granted, they'll hurt us as well, but destroying some pikes or damaging some pikes and other units that aren't all that valuable shouldn't be that concerning, and we'll be doing more damage to them than we will to us anyway, so I think it's worth our time. Alrighty, keep that up. We got more enemy units climbing up here, and it'll be more chameleon skinks by the looks of it. They will, of course, have no chance here, and we are lacking in melee units over on this side, as some chameleon stalkers are able to get on the wall, and we aren't quite able to stop them, and though we are going to be moving some more units in. Lastly, there's a couple more climbers here, who we are going to try to pistol in the back with our pistoliers. And there we go, putting them into position, and knock a few of them out. And hopefully this will apply an additional morale shock as well. If you guys actually fire, come on now. I didn't tell you to not fire. Huh. Maybe they can't fire on these guys for some reason. Or maybe they don't want to. Well, oh well. Oh, now you fire? Or maybe they were reloading for like 8 years. It's fine. And there we go. We got our knights doing the same thing, pressing the enemy up against the wall here. And, does this actually prevent the units that are there from climbing? It looks like they're fighting and not climbing, which is kind of interesting. And we basically separated the unit in half, because there are still some climbers, though they're basically destroyed at this point. Well, good job to the Empire Knights. They're certainly improving somewhat valuable here. Alrighty, and our greatswords have also moved into the other side here to fight those chameleon skinks, or chameleon stalkers I should say, and that we were not fighting before, though this does allow the remnants of the regular chameleon skinks that were climbing to continue moving past. Looks like the Saurus are in bad shape, though the mortars are knocking a few of our own units off the wall. But that's just fine, and we got more Saurus moving into the city as well. And actually, no, these are Temple Guard. They didn't go through this gate, they were summoned here via the Hexoatl and Terminator Deep Strike ability. Alrighty, but with our handgunners firing down on them from the wall and the pikes holding, I think we should be able to take them out, at least over time. Otherwise, the balance of power is about 85%, I want to say, in our favor. The first of the enemy lords is done, and the second one will probably fall shortly. And it does look like this portion of the battlefield is pretty much completely ours. Just gonna make sure that the Empire Knights and the Pistoliers chase the enemy down there. Alright, as in into the city, and this is one of the annoyances about fighting these guys. More chameleon skinks and more chameleon skinks moving into the city, so it'll be up to our knights and pistoliers to chase them down, so they're gonna move back inside. Otherwise, most of the enemy infantry have been pretty much destroyed at this point, so really I think it's just the Temple Guard and these stalkers that are still fighting. Oh no, there's another source unit that is behind them. I guess they haven't been completely destroyed by the mortars as yet, but the battle is pretty much over. As long as we don't let the chameleon skinks that moved off the walls and into our city to actually capture the Victory Plaza and hold it, we'll be fine. Oh, chameleon stalkers are doing a fairly good job at still staying in battle here, though, I mean, all things considered. They've lost their vigor, and they're facing against great swords, which shouldn't be that good of a matchup for them, and there we go. With that, finally, they're going to rout, and in fact, so is the rest of the enemy army. The Temple Guard will fight no longer, and the pikemen held very admirably, though with the help of the handgunners firing into these guys' backs. Otherwise, it's just a matter of chasing down and allowing our towers to dish out as much damage as they can. It'll be, once again, those knights and pistoliers, but by the looks of it, while we did take some damage on a few units, here on these pikes, for example, but yeah, this was at least partially due to our mortar firing. Pretty sure it was our mortar that cleared all these crenels off the wall here. Or merlins, rather. Kind of interesting. But there we are. A close victory, apparently, but once again, I do imagine due to ammunition expenditure more than anything else. I think that we still had quite a lot left in us in terms of the infantry and whatever else remained. Plus, we still had our towers, which obviously, in this particular map, as we saw with the Mazda Mundi battle, aren't really in range of helping out on the walls, but once the enemy started moving into the city, they would have started taking damage from the towers as well. Alrighty, not too bad. About the same as the battle against Mazda Mundi. Certainly not more problematic than that. Certainly a couple of units got hurt, but it's not really all that consequential. We're gonna take the money. Are these guys gonna back off, or are they gonna siege again? And again, and again, and again. Hopefully Marcus Wolfhard comes up soon, because when he does, he'll... What is this? Oh, the ambush did fail, but it looks like Belagar will be attacking while in march stance. Okay, we're attacking. Yes, it's a failed ambush, but we're on the offensive. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Though, unfortunately, we'll have to save this for next episode. It'll definitely have to be a cinematic battle, because look at all those dwarfs that are going to learn that it is, in fact, Imperial artillery that is superior. Yes, at least until Chaos Dwarves arrive, it is going to continue to be a sad day for the OG Dwarfs, because their artillery pays, I don't know, fifth fiddle? They're not even really up there. Empire artillery is superior, Cathian artillery is superior, Vampire Coast artillery is superior by and large, though primarily because of Queen Bess, but nonetheless, I'll still take that, at the very least. Anyway, I digress. Stay tuned next time for Balthazar Gelt versus Belagar Ironhammer, as well as whatever else we can get up to in that time. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.